So, will King Ghidorah return to the monsterverse? Now, this is like a Godzilla spoiler type of thing. So let's get into it. So if you want to see no spoilers for the Godzilla King of the Monsters, I advise you to click away. You might as well just get out of here. But if you don't mind spoilers for the Godzilla King of the Monsters, then let's get into the spoilers type of thing. Anyway, let's remember when Godzilla bit off King Ghidorah's head off, and I think he ate it. And remember when King Ghidorah he had fly up to the volcano, up to Rodan's volcano after defeating Rodan. Yeah, so his head was missing. Like this head right here to the right. Hang on, let me show you. This head right here was missing. That's the head that Godzilla bit off. So this head right here, that started to grow. It started to grow back out of nowhere. That shocked billions of people. I did not know his head can grow back. So now, fast forward all the way to the nearly the end where Godzilla bit off his head again. I don't know what happened. Wait. Fucking. Alright, let's just say at the end credits, we see, I forgot his name, the old head from the Game of Thrones. We saw the King Ghidorah's head decapitated. I don't know which head that was, but he said let's keep it. You know what? Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me look up a video for y'all. Alright, so this is a video from Ali Tori. So hopefully she can help y'all understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So without further ado, Lego play.
Welcome everyone. I'm so excited because we have so many other new scenarios to bring to you guys. But in this video we propose the question, can Ghidorah actually die? We know that Mothra always has a plan to be rebirthed or reincarnated, and that's her special ability. But what about Ghidorah? Ghidorah has always had this origin, at least most of the time it seems, to be a monster from out of space. It is clear that he doesn't follow the same laws as creatures here, and even a lot of the kaiju. Now, we're going to be entering spoiler territory for the movie Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Okay, ready? So in Godzilla King of the Monsters, of course, Godzilla fights King Ghidorah. We all see that in the trailer. But Godzilla comes out victorious when he rips apart King Ghidorah and eats him whole, which kind of baffled me because I didn't see him eat the whole body, but whatever, we'll get back to that in another video. What we do know is that he devoured Ghidorah. Now, what was interesting is at the very end, the post-credit scene, we see Charles Dance's character, his name is Jonah Allen, go back to Isla Mara to see the head that Godzilla had decapitated before earlier on in the movie of Ghidorah lying there. From what we know about Ghidorah, he can grow back his heads like a true Hydra. If you chop off one of his heads, it will grow back just like it did in the movie. It's possible that if you chopped all three of them off at the same time, that they would still grow back. So what is essentially causing him to stay alive, and is there a way to actually kill him? I mean, Godzilla swallowed him up and he was basically incinerated, so we know that he's dead, or at least that part of him. Is it possible that his head can regenerate into a whole other body? How does Ghidorah actually work? Now, although he's an alien life form, I think that we can look at his ability and try to figure out how it works by looking at creatures on our own planet that have the same ability. Now, I did some digging and I found some research, or at least the notes left by scientists when they were researching lizards and how they grow back their tails. It is said that in a study, researchers took a close look at about 23,000 genes that were found in samples of sliced up tails of green anole lizards. What they discovered was at least 326 genes in specific spots along each tail were turned on during regeneration, which suggested that lizard DNA has a, as they call it, genetic recipe for regeneration. The study's co-author, Dr. Kenro Kusimi, who is also the professor of life sciences at Arizona State University, said that we were expecting all of the regeneration to be focused at the tip of the growing tail. Instead, the cells are dividing in distinct pockets, including muscle, cartilage, spinal cord, and skin, all throughout the tail. It's interesting because they found that nearly all the 326 genes that they found in the lizard are also present in humans. So they're thinking about ways to help humans regrow limbs and stuff like that. The point is that the lizard has evolved to grow back any lost limbs, or specifically in this case his tail, if it is lost. However, one thing that they noted is that regeneration is not an instant process. It doesn't happen at the snap of your finger. The lizards take more than 60 days to regenerate back their full tail to its full functionality. Godzilla also has this type of regeneration, and I imagine that most of the kaiju do as well, so long as they're not injured to the point beyond return. Now, while there are some animals that can, like the lizard, only regenerate certain limbs or certain parts of their body, there are other species of organisms that actually regenerate their whole heads and tails and every part of their body if they're cut into tiny pieces. It's freaking weird. The main creature that we know of that can do this is the flatworm. If you cut out a single piece from any part on the body of the worm, it grows. Not only does that worm regenerate the part that was cut out of its body, but the piece that turns into a whole new worm. So if you want to kill this thing and you chop it up into 6 pieces, you're going to have 6 worms. The original one that you started chopping up and the 5 other pieces. So these animals can grow a complete brain and eyes all over again. Of course, it depends on where you cut them to decide whether or not they're going to actually grow a head or grow a tail. Obviously, if you cut the tail off, it's not going to grow a head in place of the tail. Now, scientists found that a big reason why these species of flatworm, or the planarians, can regrow or regenerate in this manner is because that's their form of reproduction. At least that's what they speculated. It's an asexual means of making more of themselves. Maybe the reason why a lot of animals don't have the ability to regenerate is because they don't need to, because they produce offspring. But you would think that because animals have less offspring, that they would have the ability to regenerate just to make more.
Alright, so let's end that video right there. So now, let's talk about the part. Will King Ghidorah return to the monsterverse? So, okay, fudge. My tongue tie. Okay, I think that he will return to monsterverse, but it has been confirmed that he won't return in Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, so he hopefully, if Godzilla vs. Kong do well, far as money wise, just like the Godzilla King of the Monsters did, the monsterverse shall continue. Now, if the monsterverse shall continue, that's when we shall see King Ghidorah return. But so now, I heard that some theories on the internet talk about how King Ghidorah should regenerate his whole body. Now, to me, that's just ridiculous. Now, if anything, he might regenerate like little bit parts of his body. So, yeah. So I think that the guy from the Game of Thrones, the old head, he's gonna create like a mega Ghidorah, the robotic version of King Ghidorah. So that's how I think King Ghidorah gonna return to the monsterverse. So yeah. So make sure I don't even think about kaiju punching the like button in the face. This is just terrible. It's just terrible.